All right, when a representative then comes in and turns in their qualified presentation reports, you have different scenarios that happen. So we're going to address a few different scenarios here with you that you need to be ready for and be able to respond to accordingly. The first is the most troublesome of the scenarios, which is when a representative shows up and has went 10 appointments. They did 10 or maybe even 11 or 12 or 13 appointments. Maybe they're a couple over. They're not way over, but they have 10 appointments or maybe even 9 appointments. And on those appointments they have no sales, or maybe one sale for a trimmer, or one sale to grandma for a studio set or something of that type. So they haven't really made any sales to anybody outside of grandma bought something or nothing at all. In that scenario, generally what you'll find is that a representative probably has lost some confidence in that people are going to buy, or they never had confidence in that the people they knew were going to buy, is what they many times will come to. So a quick scenario is, person comes in, they turn in 10 appointments with no sales. You then would review it. Again, the first review would be to see who they're showing to. Let's say as an example, this person has shown it to husbands and wives, or at least a wife by themselves. So they've done the work the way we prefaced everything from training to advanced trainings to the processes that we went through so far. They've done everything according to what we would expect them to do. In that scenario, I would want to sit down with the representative and review each customer individually. So tell me here, Brian, what about this individual, Martin? Tell me what happened on their appointment. How did it go? And then let them go through a scenario with you. Well, this person, they just really didn't feel like they could afford it. They just had built a new deck on their house. They just had refinanced and had to put a bunch of money down, whatever. Okay, tell me about then Laura's demo here. Laura, how do you know Laura again? Laura's your aunt. Okay, great. And your uncle was there too, I see it says here. Yeah, now tell me about that demo. How did that one go? And literally letting them just kind of walk you through and get a feel for how they feel about their appointments. 80 to 90% of the time, you finally find that they feel like the people they know just couldn't buy, or they weren't confident in Cutco itself as being a good value for people to buy. So the way to combat this very simply, easy ways, is number one, is that you ask the representative, okay, so you feel like these people just weren't quite there. Let's pull out your initial list of people that you put together. Now let's take your MAT customers, your married people 30 to 60 who live in homes. Let's take those people. Who do you feel like on this list are your absolute best 5 to 7, maybe 10 customers? But start with something very simplistic for the representative. Tell me, who are your best 5 customers? They then go through and say this person, this person, this person, and this person, and maybe somebody they already showed to as well. But generally speaking, I said, hey, give me your best 5 that you have not shown to, or your best 5 people who you feel like, if you went and did a demo, you know they have money to afford it, you know they like to cook, you know, give me your best 5. And you'll be surprised that even though we cover this in training, they have not seen these people yet, again, because of confidence. And then what I would reference with that representative is to go ahead and say, listen, Brian, we want you to go ahead and do these 5 appointments next. So I want you to work really hard at getting these 5. And then once you get these 5, you're going to find out that you can build your confidence from that. Because again, the purpose of you doing the appointments is to generate sales and get more confidence. So if you feel like these people that you've shown to so far are not your best customers, let's try to focus on your best customers. So that would be how I would approach a person who is in that situation. Then what I would have that person do is role play the close with me. You'll find that most people who are 0 for 10, 0 for 12, 0 for 13, no confidence in the program or the product, it's that they haven't even done the close. They haven't even got to the point of saying, would you like to buy? Most likely they got to the end of an appointment and said something like, would you like to buy anything? Not just a homemaker, and then the person said, well, probably not today, and they pretty much wrapped up their demo. That doesn't mean you should give up on this representative. It doesn't mean the representative is a bad person. It doesn't mean any of that. It means you need to manage them and try to get them back to a level where they're confident, make a sale or two, and then build off of that. And even if some of their best people might be referrals that they have received, have them work with those referrals, even though it may be early in their career, to get their confidence back up. The other scenario that you deal with is a person who comes in, 10 appointments and no sales, and that person has just done a bunch of husbands, single people, things of that type. In that situation, it's very important to address it immediately with the representative and explain to them, remember how we talked about in training that your best customers are married people, your best customers, or it's best to have the wife there whenever you do the demo. You want to make sure you reference that. And the same philosophy as the previous one is that you say, listen, on your next 5 appointments, very simple again, on your next 5 appointments, I want you to focus on doing appointments with only married people and the wife there. So I want you to do this so that way you can get yourself back on track and make things happen. This is what we're going to ask you to do. Will you agree to do that? Great. And then we work from there. So being very specific with them of what you expect and then following through on that so you have a list of who these people's best 5 customers are in both situations and the people who are the best customers from a MAC qualification standpoint, and then following through and making sure that when they set these appointments, that's who those appointments are with. So hopefully that'll help you deal with the scenario when a representative's in that situation.